In today's episode, I'm going to share with you a 5-step funnel launch process, a 5-step funnel launch process. And this is like a strategic approach to launching your funnel that honestly has, like, we're talking online funnels, digital marketing funnels, but it has its origins back 100 years ago with Claude Hopkins and the foundation of modern direct response advertising. So in his book, Scientific Advertising, which, by the way, you should go to freescientificadvertising.com and get it free. If you don't have it, I have an audiobook there and a PDF. You can download them immediately. You just give your email address. But in Claude Hopkins' book, Scientific Advertising, he talks about doing controlled tests, that no advertiser should roll out some big campaign until they've done a controlled test to prove the effectiveness of the advertising first. And back in, the 1920s, when Claude Hopkins was doing this and writing about it, it often involved like a localized newspaper campaign. So they'd pick a target city and they'd say, okay, this is the target city that represents America or whatever, and we're gonna start by we're gonna run some ads there, and we're gonna track results, and depending on what results we get, then we're going to maybe branch out to a 5-city test, and then we're gonna branch out nationwide, right? And so it was always these controlled tests to branch it out, so that anything that he figured out was going to be a loser, he could cut it quick. And anything that he figured out was going to be a winner, he could scale it from there. And that was the entire approach behind scientific advertising. And then you start to test things against each other and you develop from there. So we're going to dive into what that looks like today in the context of marketing funnels online. So let's dive into today's episode. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, so before we dive into that 5-step funnel launch process, I want to remind you that today's episode is sponsored by me, by Breakthrough Marketing Secrets Insiders, BTMS Insiders, it's like Netflix for copywriting and marketing training, where you pay one low fee. You get access to all of my copywriting and marketing training. So if this resonates with you, if today's episode resonates with you, it's an opportunity to go deeper and learn more and achieve more through your copywriting and marketing, using these proven principles and strategies of direct response. So with that, let's dive into this 5-step funnel launch process. So the first thing you have to do if you want to launch a successful funnel and do this kind of control test, and by the way, like, this is the process that I followed with clients, and like, this is the process that good direct marketers will follow. When you look at a funnel that has scaled, when you look at a campaign that has scaled, what you don't see when you see them like going out into cold traffic in all the corners of the internet or through multiple media, offline, online, whatever, what you don't see is all the things that took place beforehand to verify and validate the performance of that marketing prior to being able to spend money to distribute it everywhere. So the first thing that you have to do if you want to launch a funnel and eventually scale it into the stratosphere is you have to launch the funnel. And by that, what I mean is like really everything up until that point where you can start sending traffic into it. So you create all the pages, you create the flow, you create the functionality, you create the marketing, you create all of the different aspects of the funnel that are required to get it to the launch pad, to launch it, to start sending traffic into the funnel. And then that brings us to step 2. Okay, step 1, pretty obvious, but step 2, most marketers that I know always test their traffic or always test their funnels, even if it's intended to go to cold traffic, we test it to internal traffic. Now, there is a little bit of a chicken and egg thing here. If it's a brand new business, you may have to skip this internal traffic step, or you may need to get creative in terms of partnerships or anything to drive traffic. But what you want is the warmest possible traffic to that funnel to tell you if that offer is going to have a pulse. Because if you create an offer that nobody wants, and then you try to spend a bunch of money on cold traffic to actually sell that offer, you may not realize whether it's your targeting, whether it's your creative, whether it's your whatever, that actually is causing that offer to fail. And so you want to go with the warmest traffic possible, which is internal traffic, your internal email list, your internal customer list for different offers, anybody who might be interested in this offer, who is in your space, who already knows who you are. Now, this can be a little bit deceptive because typically more direct advertising messages, more direct marketing messages will work well to your internal audience that will not necessarily work to an external audience. Especially in competitive markets, you might have to have a slightly different message to, if we assume somebody has to go through the buying process of recognizing that they have a problem or challenge, looking at like all the agitation of having this unsolved and deciding they need to solve it, finding all the solutions that are out there, looking at which ones are valid, which ones are invalid, finding your solution, and then taking action. If somebody has to go through that entire process, if you have like, my solution is the best, you should take action now, that might work to your internal audience. It may not work in these later steps. That said, if you have something that's going to work to a colder audience and you send it to your internal list, it is going to work. And the great thing about this is this early validation. Number one, you'll know you have an offer that works. And number two, you can actually get some kind of ROI or some kind of revenue from this campaign out of the gate so that you can support future external traffic. So we've launched it. We've gotten it ready to send traffic to this funnel of ours. We've sent our internal traffic to it. So we run a little email campaign, whatever, to get some initial buyers to this offer. And if it works there, then we start to go to our core or proven paid traffic sources. So this would be things like our retargeting lists, remarketing lists, to actually get people who know who we are, who've been to our website, been to our media channels, whatever, and get them to engage with this new offer. Also, external audiences. So if you have existing targeting that you know works inside your ad accounts or with your agencies to your particular to your audience that has worked with offers in the past, then you're going to go to that core traffic. Because again, here it's about expanding circles. So that internal launching to our internal audience tends to be a very small circle, but it's high probability in terms of giving us high ROI. So then we're only trying to go one circle out with our paid advertising. We're going to our core audience. We're going to maybe people who are familiar with us, who've engaged with our media in the past. We're going to traffic that we know has converted for other similar offers. So we're just trying to go one circle out on that to the core or proven paid traffic sources. And then these next two, actually, so this next one can kind of bounce around a little bit. It can maybe end up being your third. It could be your fifth. It could be your fourth. But I stuck it in the middle here. It is organic and affiliate traffic sources. So once we have something launched and we've done an internal test, and we know that it has some kind of traction, we might start to set up different organic sources. So that can be the different free traffic sources that I've talked about, like podcasts and YouTube videos and blogs, and doing guest appearances on other people's stuff as well as your own, doing any kind of organic content that's designed to drive viewers. The challenge with that is it tends to be slower to scale. It tends to be really effective when you can get it really working well, but it tends to be slower to scale. But organic traffic would fit in here. This is traffic that you're not necessarily paying for, but you would start to think about it at this point in terms of driving it into the funnel, driving it into the offer. The other thing that fits in at this step is affiliate partnerships. So other people who are willing to promote your offer, your funnel, in exchange for a percentage of the sales, you want to start to get them on board after you have proven that you have an offer that works. And so part of the reason that you would put this maybe at this fourth step as opposed to third is because, okay, so you launch something and you prove that it worked to your internal email list. Well, did it work because you have a great relationship with them, or did it work because it's an effective offer with effective marketing, etc.? So going out to a little bit cooler of a traffic source with that core and proven paid audience, well, that's going to tell you, okay, we have some really good stats on this funnel. We have a predictable earnings per click. We have predictable conversion rates. We have predictable cart value. And we also have a good sense of this actually converts to these audiences. And so then you start to say, what are the different ways that we can get in front of bigger segments of those audiences? So that could be that organic stuff that we talked about. That could be the affiliate stuff that we talked about. And so in this fourth step, the organic affiliate, really what you're trying to do is you're trying to expand out as much as possible without significant cost outlay in terms of starting to scale. And you can continue, again, to feed the machine with this organic and affiliate traffic as long as you can find those sources. Typically, there's going to be more investment of time in building the relationships or creating the content for those, but it's going to be valuable. So at this point, we've gone through the launch, we've gone through the internal traffic, we've gone through the core or proven paid traffic, we've gone through the organic and affiliate traffic, and that brings us to number 5, the fifth step of this funnel launch process, which is scalable paid traffic. So this is, okay, we have something that's working. We've tested the warmer traffic sources, or maybe the cool but not cold traffic sources that we know are proven sources of traffic. We've expanded it to our networks, our relationships, such that we've driven a lot of that traffic through. But if you stop there, usually what's going to happen with your funnel is you're going to have that spike, and then it's going to fall off fairly quickly because you used up, you reached a level of saturation with the core and proven paid traffic. Because that tends to be a smaller audience, you maybe used up the rotation through your organic and affiliate relationships. And then so how do you scale? How do you scale beyond that? Well, you want to do scalable paid traffic sources. So for this, you're looking at much colder traffic, and you're looking at things like lookalike audiences. You're looking at things like just general audiences based on interest that are going to pull people in. And you might have to adapt your messaging a little bit for this. You might have to put another layer in front of the prospects in terms of getting them to convert. So you may have to capture their attention and interest earlier on in that buying decision-making cycle. So I talked about they're unaware of the problem. They become aware of the problem. They become aware of the solution. They become aware of you. They become ready for a deal. Well, you may actually need to move up from like comparing solutions to really helping them define the solution because they're becoming aware of the problem, or helping them define the problem because they're starting to notice symptoms. But the idea here is that once you have something that you know works to all of the warmer and maybe even cool traffic sources, then you have to start getting creative and finding new colder traffic sources that you can get to continue to drive traffic into this funnel. Now, another thing that actually makes this entire process work better is the fact that so many ad networks these days run on artificial intelligence algorithms. And those algorithms, they can help you get conversions by looking at, okay, these are the characteristics of the people that we know have converted for this offer in the past. So we know that when this traffic has arrived at this website, it has done the conversion action that the marketer wants that traffic to do. And then from that point, the artificial intelligence algorithms say, where can we find more people like that? And they can actually help you find more people like those who have converted. And when you follow this process of starting with the people who are most likely to convert and feeding all this data into the system, then it allows you to have the algorithms adequately refined to the point where when it is time to scale to colder audiences, they can help you find those audiences in a much more effective way. And so when you think about this, and you think about this as opposed to let's say, oh, we just want to run a bunch of traffic, right? Like, oh, we launched this brand new funnel and we haven't tried it with anybody, but we want to spend $10,000 or $100,000 just to send traffic to it. Well, you're going to end up with a very different scenario by doing that. We'll call that the uncontrolled test versus the controlled test process that I talked about with the 5-step funnel launch process. So that's what I have for you today. Again, step 1 is launch. Step 2 is the internal traffic. Step 3 is core or proven paid traffic. Step 4 is organic or affiliate traffic and affiliate traffic. Step 5 is the scalable paid traffic sources. And remember, you can go to freescientificadvertising.com to get your free copy of the Scientific Advertising Audiobook from Claude Hopkins. It was published in 1921. I think I'm getting the year right there, within a couple of years at least. So it's 100 years old. And yet the principles and many of the strategies, that core foundation of scientific advertising, is more relevant today than ever before, as this 5-step funnel launch process has laid out. And if you do want to go deeper, remember, BTMS Insiders is where you can get unlimited access to all my copywriting and marketing training, including scientific advertising in the 21st century, where I actually took all the principles from scientific advertising and broke down how they apply today. And so check out the links in the description to those. Again, I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Don't forget to hit that like button, share your comments, share your reactions, share your questions in the comments with this episode, and stay tuned for your next daily episode where I'm helping you discover your own marketing genius, one episode at a time. I'll see you then. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.